Hello everyone, welcome to the new video. In this video we will learn how flow operators can help us to accomplish multiple things in our projects. Let's say how a map operator can convert our flow data to another data type, or how we can filter data, and when to use debounce operator. So this is what we will accomplish in this video. So let's get started. So let's start with the map operator. So this is the initial code for this video. You can find that from the video description below. So in here we have the user repository. In that we have this method get users list, which return us the list of users. And in this user object we have different fields. So let's say right now we are only interested in this address field, that we want to get all the addresses of each user. So how we can get it, how we can get that type of information. So for that, again, we will call this get users method, get users list method, but at the on the other side we only want the list of strings which contains addresses only. So what we will do is we will go to our main view model, and in here I will introduce a variable, let's say user addresses, and user repository dot get users list method, and use map operator here, and in that we will use users dot map users dot address. So at the end we are using this map operator function to convert this list of users to the addresses only. So we will use the state in operator to convert it into the state flow, and for the sharing started we will use all center to import, and we will use eagerly. I have already covered these conversion of how to convert a cold flow into hot flow in the previous video of this series in lecture 6. So if you want to if you haven't seen that and want to learn how this conversion work and how this sharing started behave in different scenarios, so you can see that video. I will attach the video link in the description below. Okay, so at the end we will get the list of strings which contains addresses. So here I will to test that I will use for each, actually on each, and print that addresses in the logs. So log the user addresses, log d user addresses, addresses dot size, and print these in the one by one. Okay, so let's run the app and verify this change. Open the logcat, and in there provide the filter main view model. Okay, so our app is up and running, and in the logs we are seeing these addresses information in our logs. So this is how we can use map operator to convert our flow data type into different convert the data type of the flow into a different data type. But at the end we are still getting a flow, but which contains a different data type, which is a list of strings. Let's continue with the filter operator, that how we can filter the data which are coming from the flow. So here I will introduce another variable named as filtered users, user repository dot get users list, and here we can use filter id dot filter. Actually, in our user repository here we have the in the user object we also have a field which represent is active, whether this user is active or not. In our this dummy list we have 3 active users and 2 non-active user. So we will use this is active field to filter the data to get the only active users on in the view model. So in the view model here we will use filter, and we are seeing some error here. This is because this filter expect the boolean in return, but this filter method on the collection will return the collection list of the items which we have. So how we can do it? We will do it. Let's say we have list of users, so we will use the map operator here again, and in that we will use filter user dot is active. So this will return the only the active users. So we will convert this flow into the state flow, and at the end we will get the filtered user. So right now we are not using the filter operator of the flow. We are using the filter in the map operator. We are using this filter function of the list, but we can also use the filter method of the filter operator of the flow. So for that we need a value in such a way that we can directly perform the filtering on that. So for that purpose, here I have also added another method which is get users method, and this will return a flow of user, not a return a flow which have the user object, not a list of users. So we can directly perform the filtering on that. Let's say I will introduce another filter users to user repository dot get users, and use the filter operator here, and user dot is active. So we only want to get the active users only. So here we will use the same stating for this one, and here the initial value will be empty user. Okay, so now in both ways we are able to get the filter user, but in this approach, when we are using the filter operator function of the flow, then in the downstream we only get the value if the if that value has passed the filter. But in this case we always get the value in the downstream even we have the empty list of users. So so we will test this filter through our logs, that on each, here we have user object log d user, and I will comment this code because I don't want to see this information in the logs. So at this point I will run the app to see the filter users in the log. Open the logcat, clear these logs. Okay, so app is up and running, and in the logs we are seeing the 3 users which are active user. And if I invert this operator, invert this is active check and run the app, then we will get the non-active users. Okay, so app is up and running, and now we are seeing these 2 non-active users in our logs. So this is how the filter operator works, and how we can use a list of information and to filter the list of information which are coming through the flow, we use map, and in that we use the filter. Okay, and now we will continue with the debounce operator, that how this will help us in certain scenario. So before that we will see a use case here. Let's say we have a text field, and in that, whenever will user type anything, then we want to hit the API call, make an API call and get the filter users. So initially we will implement this logic, and after that we will improve that with the debounce operator. So I will comment this code and create a private search query, mutable state of string, and expose an immutable version of by pressing Control D, make a copy of this line and expose an immutable version of this search query. Assign this to this one search query. So this is a public variable which we will access outside the scope of this view model, and in our main activity in here I will get that variable search query is equal to view model dot search query collect as state with lifecycle, and assign this to this variable search query dot value. And whenever user type anything in the text field, then this method will be triggered. So when this one is be triggered, then we want to update the search query. So view model dot search query dot value. So right now we cannot set the value to this variable because this is the immutable version, but for testing purpose, so right now our purpose is to understand how debounce operator will help us to improve this logic. So I will make this mutable version public and update from here. Okay, and when the search value changes, then we want to get the filtered users. So filter users search query dot map, and in that we will call user repository dot search user, and in here we will pass the query, and this will return us the flow of list. So we will want at the end we will want the list of users, so we will convert this to list, and this will provide us the okay. So I will first continue the complete the remaining part. So here we will use state in to convert this into the state flow. So here we will get the list of users, but right now we are noticing that we are getting the list which has list of users. We have double list, nested list here. So this is because this provide us a list of values, but we already have a list of users which will coming from the flow. That's why this list of user is wrapping in another list. So here I will call the get or else get the value as index 0, otherwise empty list. Okay, and now we want to see the filters users, so I will print that in the logs. Logging filter users dot size, and search query. Actually, I will print that information in here. Here we are making the API call, and also print the search query in the logs. And in here we only want to print the search users filtered users size, and we also print these information in the of each user one by one. Okay, so now let's run the app and see these changes in the App is up and running, and initially this state value have empty search query, so though by default the all users will be loaded in the logs. So we will not fix this for the time being. We only focus on what we want to test. So here I will type R A S, and what we are seeing that whenever I type any character, then the API call is made to get the list of users. If I remove this S, A and R, again on each character the API call is made. So that's an issue because currently we are getting the users from the in-memory list which we already have in our device. But when this information is coming from the server, then this will take certain amount of time to load the data from the server through via internet or any local network wherever the server is. So how we can optimize this, because this will also consume too much resources of server and network, and also do not provide a good user experience, because if every search query take let's say 3 seconds or 5 seconds, so after typing each character user have to wait 5 or 6 seconds to see the result. So we can optimize this with the debounce operator. So here we will use debounce operator and provide the timeout 5000 millisecond. Press Alt Enter to import it, and also opt in that we are using the preview version of this is the preview version of this flow. So we will run the app. First we will see the behavior, and then we will discuss what's happening, how it's improving it. App is up and running, and we are seeing this all the users, and on the initial stage I will clear this one, and here now I will type RAS and wait for a few seconds. API call is made and we are seeing this information. So if I clear this one by one, we are not seeing the instant API calls, and the API call is only made after a few seconds. So we are seeing this 5 users. Let's say I will try another name, UFMAN, and wait for a few seconds. Now the API call is made and we are seeing this infiltrated users in the logs. So what's happening is that this debounce operator will help us to optimize this search functionality. So what it will do is, let's say if I type anything, let's say I will type RAFHID, Rashid, and this debounce operator will hold that value for 5000 milliseconds. If that 5000 millisecond passed, then this will carry forward this Rashid query string to the downstream of the flow. But if any other value came in, let's say if I type RAS, so this holds the current value. But if I type HID before this 5 second timeout have been before this within this 5 seconds, then this will cancel the current value and hold the new upcoming value for the next 5 seconds. So this is how this will help us to accomplish or improve the search functionality. With this, we have come to the end of this video. I hope you find it information valuable. If you have any query, let me know in comments below. Thank you for watching. Bye, and I will see you in next one.